The answer is it's not easy. And we try and blend the whole three things. So I try and blend the cattle, the environment and profitability.
We've identified quite early in the system that just about everything we do here is soil related, whether that's pasture growth, weight gain, fertility, everything comes back to the soil.
At the moment there's 800 cows, 800 calves on the ground, and then we've got 200 joiners going back in. There's 120 odd bulls. The value in them is their easy calving ability, their maternal value of the cows and calves as well, their doing ability, drop them anywhere and they'll start fattening.
So we decided we wanted to change the frame size of our animal. We needed to increase the fertility, increase also substantially the calving ease, and increase the resilience of the animals that we were breeding. So we found some genetics in America that would suit what we were trying to do. They were moderate frame, heavily muscled, excellent calving ease, excellent fertility. So we started buying those bulls.
We believe that the cattle that we raise here, because they're only raised on grass, they're not pampered in any way, and for what they're selected for, their resilience, they're very well suited to the grass-fed market.
They're fat all year round. They can be fat on grass, somehow they're just doing ability, their resilience. One of the biggest ease of management is they go straight back in calf. We have a very low percentage drop out each year. They're just real nice line of cows.
The other thing that if you look at the research, the cattle can be too small, and in my view they can be too big. There's kind of a sweet spot in the middle, what I call moderate frame. And what we've worked out is that moderate frame cattle will eat less grass, but they will still produce the same amount of beef. And on the same amount of area, we can run more moderate frame cattle than we can larger frame cattle.
The guarantee of calving ease in this herd and the fertility amongst the females, the main breeder herd, is just second to none. These cattle are well renowned for their calving ease.
One year we calved down 600 maiden heifers and didn't need to check one or pull one calf.
The gestation period on these cows, we're finding they're getting shorter every year. At the moment we're 2 to 3 weeks before the calving date. We're seeing calves, and the days to calving is very tight. At the moment our clients are all the way from Victoria, North Queensland over to South Australia. There's one client in particular that's way out in the west, out in the Cunnamulla country, so pretty low rainfall, tough area to send an Angus. These clients have been buying bulls ever since we started, and the longevity of these bulls, the resilience that they're putting into their herd is what they're looking for. They just want lower frame score, they want to run more animals, they want the resilience in the females, the fertility. You know, these little heifers, young heifers going back and calf on their first calf. The longevity of the bulls themselves, like they're brought up in a grass-fed environment. All they're fed is grass and minerals, that's it. They are a different animal to look at than the conventional bulls are. They're not quite as big, they're full of muscle.
Their fleshing ability, their doing ability, they go up. I've seen some bulls out west, up north, that are just unreal conditions, still go out in their work clothes, come back in and they're still looking fantastic for being out for 3 months.
Myself personally have been involved with RCS for quite a number of years. We're set up into like a cell grazing system. We let our cattle fix our land. We use Livestock and we use high density and rest.
We do a thing called total graze here with our cows. Our cows go onto a paddock and take everything pretty much out of it, leave about 800 kilos behind. We could do a leader follow mob with our fat cattle, which come through. They take out a tiny little bit and the cows come back to and do the main job.
Dung beetles do a great job here. I wasn't sure they were in this country when I first came here, but they are here, and I'm quite confident they're here because of the grazing practices that we do. So we all have dung beetles.
I'm trying to balance between what I'm doing to the soil, the environment and the cattle. It is vitally important to us, and we use the cattle as the tool to achieve the diversity of the grass. No monocultures are allowed here, preferably mostly and substantially native grasses that suit the environment here.
We've gone down the path of registering females with Angus Australia, validate what we're doing through data collection. All calves will be weight recorded at 200, 400 and 600 days. 200-day weight, which is your weaning weight, and the 400-day, we want to see these animals just keep increasing, and between 400 and 600 days, that's where we want our peak growth to be on grass. Weaners get scored for structure and everything and weighed at weaning. We're also measuring frame score at weaning, weighing these cows at weaning. We want to know what the weaner to cow weight ratio is. As this herd goes up in numbers and the more data verification that we can bring on board, the numbers will go up in the bull sale. Mature cow weight doesn't need to be a curve bending on the right hand side of the EBV graph. It needs to be on the lower side than the average. And the other thing I would like to see is the meat to bone ratio on these animals. I think it's very important. We can have the biggest animal in the world, but it's no good to the meat works if we're not going to get a decent bone out of it.
If you look at the global demand for grass-fed beef, it is going up. The response has been excellent. The industry, as you know, there will be people, and I don't want to criticise them, that's their objective. They still believe bigger is better. I respect that view, I don't agree with that view, but that's not important to me. There are people around that would totally agree with us that the moderate frame animal and getting the tenderness back in, and we can get the tenderness back in by breeding what we call muscling and natural fleshing ability in. Then the meat is becoming more tender. I don't want to just produce beef, I want to produce nutrient-dense beef. It's dirt, it's grass, it's rain, it's then the cows eat that grass, goes into the beef, and eventually we consume it, and we get a quality product at the end of the day.
So you've got potential to turn these steers and heifers off earlier with better weight for age and perform under a grass-fed situation?
It's not just cattle for me, it's both environment. I have a simple view of life is that I am the custodian of this land and the environment, and that when I pass away, the land has got to be in a better shape than when I bought it.